Turn that beat up.
Yeah, load up. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. Forget about talking, I'm just gonna off them. That's it, don't got time to play. Load up.
It's ThePERION, the Perion Perspective, episode 4. Yeah, so I'm back, y'all. Episode number 4. So we back, man. The commercial appeal, the Memphis commercial appeal, man, came out with an article talking about Charles Barkley criticizes Shannon Sharpe for altercation with Memphis Grizzlies. This shit looking real crazy, man. So you know me, man. I'm gonna hit you with that Perion perspective, man. We about to get into it. So Hall of Famer and TNT analyst Charles Barkley has weighed in on Shannon Sharpe's verbal altercation with the Memphis Grizzlies Friday, and he disagreed with Sharpe's conduct. Reporters should never get into it with players. That's just my rule of thumb because we get paid to talk about these guys, Barkley said Wednesday during an interview on Sirius XM NBA radio. And if you hate guys or don't get along with guys, you're going to be somewhat biased whether you believe it or not. Sharpe, who co-hosts Undisputed on Fox Sports 1, got into a back and forth argument with Dylan Brooks before halftime of Friday's game with the Grizzlies and Los Angeles Lakers. Sharpe then escalated things by standing up to yell more, which prompted Brooks, John Morant, Steve Adams to approach him before being separated by security at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Sharpe, a Pro Football Hall of Famer, apologized for his actions with a 3-minute statement on Monday. The Grizzlies have not made additional comments since Friday and the face of the Golden State Warriors on Wednesday. Barkley hasn't been shy about calling out fan behavior in the past or criticizing players. Earlier this season, he said Morant needs to evolve and make his teammates better. Morant and several Grizzlies were quick to respond to dismiss Barkley's comments. Right? During last year's playoffs, Barkley criticized fans involved in an altercation with Chris Paul's family and suggests players should be able to fight unruly fans. He didn't go that far with Sharpe and the Grizzlies, but he did condone Sharpe's actions. I'm not saying anybody was right or wrong, but I'm saying as a guy who's on television, I could never get into it with the players. That's just my rule of thumb, Barkley said. So this is Charles, and that's the end of it. So this is Charles Barkley basically saying that Shannon Sharpe shouldn't have got into it with Dylan Brooks. Do I agree with Charles Barkley? Absolutely. I absolutely agree with him. I believe that Shannon Sharpe was absolutely wrong to go back and forth with the NBA player Dylan Brooks. With John Morant, with his father, and Steve Adams. Those things, if it was any other fan, right, that fan would have been ejected, right? Police would have came, escorted the fan out, okay? You seen what happened when LeBron escorted the fan. He actually pointed her out. You know what I'm saying? Said that she has to go, okay? So if that fan had to go, and I understand that, certain things is just, you can't say certain things. You can't, use certain derogatory phrases, things like that. But, trash talk is part of the game, right? So, and you're going to have fans that's going to trash talk. You know what I mean? But what Shannon Sharpe did, it was a little bit more than just trash talk. I mean, you standing up, you're threatening guys, you literally yelling across the damn court, motioning guys to come over here, come in my face, being very argumentative, being very confrontational. Do I believe that Shannon Sharpe would got into a fight right then? Hell no. Because Shannon Sharpe, he's not that stupid. You know what I'm saying? Shannon Sharpe is his focus is on that check, right? Now, would he could he approach some Skip Bayless with some of that vitriol that he approached these other players? I think that he should, and he's a coward for not doing so. You have a lot of energy, for these Memphis Grizzlies players, right? For these players, but when it comes to Skip, who's blatantly disrespecting you, in your face, basically trying you on live TV. You have no response for that, and you come off extremely passive. That it exhibits cowardness from my perspective, and I don't look highly of that. Now Shannon Sharpe, is going to, obviously, he did do the apology. I mean, he apologized for 3 minutes straight. I mean, it was just Lord, you know what I mean? Skip didn't even apologize. You see what I'm saying? Skip said, "Yo, fuck apologizing." You see, but I mean, you see how quickly, Shannon Sharpe feels like he has to apologize for something that he does wrong. You see, so, overall, man, this is what we talking about, man. It just is not, you are basically being exposed on every front, Shannon. Like, you're being exposed for, number one, not having that same smoke, not having that same energy for Skip, and then number two, you was exposed for even in that response tweet, you was exposed for not really having any comment about Steven Adams, because Steven Adams was really one of the main guys that approached you. I mean, he was towering over you, but you didn't have anything to say against him, but you had everything to say about Dylan Brooks and John Morant. You see what I'm saying? So it just it's very fishy, man. You just exposed on that end, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look right, And I mean, and by golly, I mean, all of this was prompt because of LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this was prompt because of basically LeBron James, right? So is your fanboyism for LeBron James enabled you to almost crash out? You know what I mean? It enabled you to pretty much almost risk your career, risk risk your health. You know what I mean? I mean, risk a lot. You just want to risk everything just to say that, Dylan Brooks, you're too small to guard LeBron. It's like, it's a lot of players too small to guard LeBron. It's like, that's not even like a thing that's like you should be fighting over. That's like nothing. That's like obvious at that point. Like, most players at his position, he's bigger than. So it's like, come on, man. It's like, it's all ridiculous. It's laughable at this point. Charles Barkley, with all the run-ins that he had in his past, I mean, of course he's going to say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised that Charles Barkley looked at this thing in a negative light, for Shannon. I mean, he's basically playing that same role. I mean, what would you look like trying to get into a verbal altercation with a player? And it's your job to comment and talk about these players. Do your analysis on these players, as far as on their basketball game. Everything else is come on, man, it's not professional. So overall, man, Shannon Sharpe, I mean, you looking weak out here, my man. You looking very, very weak. And I just hope that you just have that same smoke for Skip, man. So the next time Skip try you, you need to be doing the same thing that I've seen you do. You know what I mean? With John Morant, with Dylan Brooks, right? With John Morant, father, right? T. Like, you need to do the exact same thing to Skip. And if you don't, you just getting exposed more, man. You just fake to me. So all in all, man, it's fake. I'm sure they're gonna get crazy ratings over it. Shannon Sharpe, he already did his little apology, and it's another it's another win in the news cycle, right? So all in all, man, I'm SL Perion. It's the Perion Perspective, man. I'm out.